Welcome back to our Kelley Blue Book coverage of the 2008 New York Auto Show. Jackie Red with you, and with me is an old friend. In fact, we think we're the champ of doing walkarounds on Kelley Blue Book.
Glad to be here.
Tom Plasinski, a BMW product expert and PR guy extraordinaire from BMW. Thanks for being with us, and tell us all about BMW M3.
Well, today we get to talk about my favorite car
there you go.
of all time,
Perfect.
the M3. Because now we're in the fourth generation of M3. We just introduced the third model in the M3 line. Behind you is the sedan that goes on sale next week, in fact.
Wow.
For a little over $54,000. Bargain at the price.
Absolutely.
Then we have the M3 Coupe, which has been the staple of the M3 line for years and years.
Right.
We don't have one of those on the floor, but we also have the brand new, unveiled this morning.
Just unveiled this morning.
The M3
moments
convertible.
Ago. Well, walk us around this, would you, Tom?
Okay.
Tell us about the hard ones about it.
Okay. Well, an M3 and any BMW, we have to talk about its hard first.
Performance,
the
yes,
engine.
the engine.
Yep. This is a 4-liter V8, 414 horsepower. Red line is at 8,400 RPM. It's the highest red line on a naturally aspirated production engine anywhere.
Wow.
So it has a real race car feel. It is race bred, and it's a beautiful sounding engine.
And yet tons of torque, I imagine. Huh?
Tons of torque,
tons
yes.
Of torque.
You have to rev it, and it has torque throughout the rev range. But this is an engine that's really meant to be revved. So you will take it to 8,400 RPM.
So in a lot of ways, this is kind of a new age hot rod. We're talking about a V8 engine in a very small chassis.
Yes.
Not unlike really what Pontiac did with GTO 3 or 4 generations ago.
In many ways,
in some ways,
similar.
right?
Yeah. Now, the M3 is bred from the racetrack. It was originally, it was designed as a race car first. We had to build 5,000 for the road in order to be able to go race in a European touring car. So we built the 5,000 for the road, and people went, wow, this is pretty cool.
Yeah,
so
sold out.
We built more.
Right.
We brought that car to the US, and that was back in 87, 88. And then the second generation built on that, and now we're up to the fourth. We're the biggest market for M cars, and we're the biggest market for M3s. And I think that has to do with our heritage of liking muscle cars.
Right.
But what's really special about the M3 is we pride ourselves on having a chassis that's faster than the engine. So there's more.
Explain that.
Okay. There's more capability in the chassis, in the brakes, and the handling than the engine has output. So contrary to the muscle cars of the 60s where you had big engine and you had to hold on for dear life.
You outdid your suspension very rapidly.
Very rapidly.
Yes.
And brakes.
Yeah.
This one is designed for its top speed. It's designed to handle any sort of situation you give it.
Right. And M vehicles traditionally have styling cues that are subtle but obvious. Let's talk about that a little bit.
This is probably one of the most obvious M3s we've made.
Okay.
80% of the body panels are different from a 3 Series convertible in this case.
Okay.
So it has a different fascia. You can see the power bulge in the hood, the power dome as we call it. There is an air intake here for the engine. The other one is there for aesthetics. We have the grille on the side. The fenders are more flared. Really the only parts that are carryover from a 3 Series convertible would be the roof panel, the windows, the taillights, and the headlights. That's it.
Wow.
Everything else is unique to this car. So that makes it more expensive to build. It isn't an inexpensive car. This car will retail somewhere in the range, or just under $66,000. But it is an M3.
Right.
It's
well,
special.
and it has gone from being kind of a version of the 3 Series to something almost in and of itself, hasn't it?
Right.
In a lot of ways.
M is its own brand. It's a separate division of BMW. They have the purest vision of what the ultimate driving machine should be.
Right.
And so the M people really go through the car front to rear to make sure that they are providing the experience that they think is right. And the M division was born of racing again, so they really have a special feel that's different than
and
other
at the
BMWs.
same time, these are very comfortable on the track. They feel good on the track, but they don't beat you up when you're on the road. You can live with these as real cars.
And they're forgiving cars as
right.
well. There is traction control and various features that will keep you on the straight and narrow. If you do a crazy move with it, even racetrack or on the road, this car will help you get through that. And
are electronics part of that as well?
Yes, definitely.
Tell us a bit.
Well, it has a traction control system, which is standard on every BMW. The M people do something a little different. They call it M dynamic mode. So what they do is they give you 3 choices for traction control: on, off, or somewhere in between. And somewhere in between allows a certain amount of slip, allows a little bit of wheel spin.
So some fun.
Some fun. On the racetrack, it's perfect because you can start the slide a little bit, and if you're very precise and very smooth, you never get the traction control coming on, and so it makes you a better driver.
Yeah.
And many of our customers will take these to track days. We know that's part of its DNA. That's what our customers do with it. This is brand new, also shown at the show. You see the gear shift lever is not the traditional 6-speed manual, which is on the other 2 models we've introduced. This is called MDCT with Drive Logic. DCT stands for double clutch transmission. So this is a longitudinally mounted double clutch transmission, incredibly quick shifts, no loss of power between shifts. It knocks about 0.2 seconds, 0 to 60 time. And it's premiering on the coupe, and it'll soon be in the convertible.
It makes us wonder why people are making manual transmissions now with these advanced
Well, BMW,
automatics.
we have to make manual transmissions. We have customers that demand it. But this is another option for people.
Tom Plusinski, thanks you so much for taking us through the
You're very
M3.
welcome.
We really appreciate it. Great to talk to you as
Always
always.
a pleasure.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Stay with us, everybody, for more Kelley Blue Book coverage of the 2008 New York Auto Show.